Alright people, so today we got two extremely stupidly popular video games. Stupidly popular. I'm pretty sure there's a specific one that's gonna win over the other, but we've seen a lot of surprises now. So this is it. Tyson just mentioned it. This is it. This is a big one. I was saving these for later, but since we're stuck, let's do this. Start voting, everybody. We got Persona 5 any version versus Dragon Quest XI any version. You're probably wondering why these two, because they are the two most popular turn-based JRPGs and they're of their time, and I think they are the ones that kind of saved turn-based from oblivion, because they both sold a crap ton of copies out there. This is why this episode makes sense. Brian says Persona 5 is one of those games that's so intimate in mechanics that I've gotten to a point trying to beat it where it feels like a sin, not 100%ing it. Like it's the end of the world, like I missed something. Wow. Matiriku says I went with Persona 5. They're both so long, I never finished either one, but I put many more hours in 5 because the story had me hooked longer. The simplicity of Dragon Quest eventually drove me off. Bajake says Dragon Quest XI for me because it has much better pacing than Persona 5 and it is as close as we will probably get to a modern classic turn-based JRPG. Awesome gameplay plus good old save the world as the hero. You also save the world in Persona 5. Newcomb says I liked Dragon Quest XI better than Persona 5. For me, the story was slightly more superior. I felt the plot twist in Dragon Quest was better. Okay. Denise says Persona 5 has an amazing story and everything just fits. The style, the music, the characters, there's so much to do, yet it never feels out of place. Okay. Red Miller says Dragon Quest sticks to its roots to this day and works almost perfectly. No other RPG can do that easily and well nowadays. Ah, strong argument. Anyway, Joker says I'm a bigger Dragon Quest fan, but I like the more light-hearted themes and the silly characters with some dark themes in it, like in Persona 5. Aristo says I prefer Dragon Quest XI. Persona 5 is too long and maybe some parts are like visual novel. Also, the dungeon is meh. The dungeon design is meh. Dragon Quest is more simple and not huge encounter rate and more enjoyable than Persona. There's no encounter rate in either game. You can see the enemies. But anyway, you prefer Persona. Okay, I gotcha. Tyson says I picked Persona 5. I like the music and art style more. The story hooked me more and I enjoy the combat more. I like the Persona SMT Demon Collecting in general, but I also like Dragon Quest XI and Jade is awesome. Sounds like you have a lot of problems making up your mind. Donsk says I chose Dragon Quest XI over Persona 5 because I enjoy the simplicity of core turn-based battle systems. I loved more the story in Dragon Quest, and the post-game content was brutal. So you like brutal post-content, huh? Post-game content. Signum says I choose Persona 5, not because it's the better game, but because I hate the Dragon Quest localization. I hate how Dragon Quest names were changed and how some characters speak Irish or Scottish English. Okay. Mystery Kid says Persona 5 Royal is my pick, one of the best modern JRPGs, great story, entertaining gameplay, amazing soundtrack, best waifus, and the final villain makes you think because what he wants isn't bad at all. Ooh, no spoilers, but okay. No, 80 votes, 50-50? Come on, what? Oh my god! There we go. End it. Jesus Christ. The poll is over and oh my god. It was a stalemate for a while, but Persona 5 won with 51%. Dragon Quest XI lost with 49%. Wow. One vote swayed it. It was 50-50, and one vote changed it all. We will probably never know who was that person. Well, yeah, Persona 5 won thanks to you. Oh, wow, which game wins for me? Persona 5 wins for me. But this is another one where it only wins by a hair. As a very microscopic fucking hair. Okay? In terms of story, well, Persona wins because Dragon Quest is more traditional, even though I'll say this about Dragon Quest XI. It's got one of the best stories in the entire franchise. They really put a lot of effort in the story this time around. But it can't win against the psychological, dark themes of Persona. You know I'm into that, so of course, in terms of storytelling, Persona wins for me. Despite all the cheesiness and slice of life and whatever, you know. Yes, it's got more dialogue and, you know, a lot of nonsensical bullshit, you know, but it still wins for me. It also wins in terms of characters. I find some of the characters in Persona 5 a bit more interesting than the ones in Dragon Quest XI. But Jade is a waifu, Serena is a waifu, I fucking love her. Except when she cuts her hair at the end, it's like, yeah, Garnet did it first in Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, you're not doing anything original, girl. Your political message can kiss my ass, you know, so nobody does that in Persona 5, so Persona 5 wins. Graphics, Persona 5. I mean, I just love the style. I fucking love it. Dragon Quest XI has great fucking graphics, though, but Persona 5, the colors, the style, the, yeah, it wins. Music wins, Persona 5 wins, though, let me stand up for rest in peace Koichi Sugiyama. This Dragon Quest XI is one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite Dragon Quest soundtrack. Out of all the ones that I played, you know. I love it. I really like 7. You guys know me. The soundtrack in 7, but 11 is like really good. But Persona 5, the music, dude, it's just what? Do we even need to compare the music? Like, come on, it wins by a landslide. Turn-based battle system in both. Well, I said this before, I like simplicity over complexity most of the time, but in here I think I'm gonna side with Persona 5, it's just more fun, the battle mechanics. In Dragon Quest, the battle mechanics are like good, I like them. You know, you learn more spells, you know, blah blah blah, and you pep up, you know, and you become more powerful, you know, but it's simple classic Dragon Quest combat. In Persona 5, sure, it's still classic Persona combat, but, you know, it's got more twists, the interactions with the demons, the personas you summon, you know, I don't know, it's got a lot of those little details. It's just a more creative battle system in Persona 5, so I like it more. And finally, the gameplay, well, it's Persona. It's extremely addicting. Dragon Quest XI was almost just as addicting, but Persona is always gonna win because there's just a million gameplay mechanics in there, you know, so... But it wins by a hair. I really like the gameplay in exploration, you know, and the pacing and the fact that you can see the enemies in both games around. But it's just a little bit more engaging in Persona 5. It's just more original, whereas Dragon Quest XI is more traditional. And I'm not cheating on that. You guys know me. I love traditional gameplay mechanics as well. But I gotta side with Persona 5 just for a little bit. It's just more creative, fun, and original. And that's my argument. Persona 5 wins for me. But like I said, just by a really small hair. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. And if you can, subscribe to my Twitch channel. Like, I'm not gonna shut up with that. And it did win by a really small hair in the poll. Jesus, one guy made a difference. One guy.